Given two functions f and g, the composite function f so-called g is defined by f composed g of x is equal to f of g of x. So here, what happened here is we then take g of x. G of x now become the input of f of x. Input of f. Okay. So think of this as the input and the output. Remember when we start the function f of x in definition earlier, x is the input, f is the output. So what changed here is f so-called g of x is now become f of g of x, where g of x is the input and f is the output. So instead of having a variable at the input, we have a whole function as the input. Okay. The domain of f of g is the set of all x in the domain of g, so that f of g is in the domain of f. In other words, f so-called g of x is defined whenever both g of x and f of g of x are defined. So let's take a look at this function. Given f of x equal to x squared and g of x equal 1 divided by x minus 3, we want to find f composed g of x and g composed f of x in their domain. So here what happened? Look at f of x equal x squared. Let's translate this in sentence. F of x equal x squared. Verbal representation of this is f of x take the input, then square it. Okay, so here f of x take the input, that g of x, and square it. So g of x square, that equal 1 divided by x minus 3 square. Okay. The domain here is from negative infinity to 3 union with 3 to positive infinity. Okay. G of f of x. So g of x equal 1 divided by x minus 3. So in word, g of x. Okay. So we take 1 divide by the difference of the input and 3. Okay, so we take the input, we divide it by 3. Excuse me, we take the input, we subtract 3 here. So that is 1 over x squared minus 3. So here, x squared minus 3 cannot be equal to 0. X squared minus 3 cannot be equal to 0. So x cannot be equal plus or minus square root 3. So the domain here is from negative infinity to negative root 3 union negative root 3 to root 3 union root 3 to infinity. So let's calculate f of g of 7. So first step, we will calculate g of 7. G of 7 equal to 1 over 7 minus 3. That is 1/4. The second step is to calculate f of g of 7. Well, we know that g of 7 equals 1/4. So here is f of 1/4. F of 1/4 equals 1/4 squared. That is 1/16. G of f of 7. So first we will calculate f of 7. That is 7 squared. That makes 49. And then the second step, we calculate g of f of 7. Well, f of 7 equals 49. So that is 1 over 49 minus 3. 1 over 46. I'll let you try the next one on your own, then we check the answer. So this is the composite of f of g of x and g of f of x and their domain. The next thing we calculate is f of g of 4 and g of f of 4, and you can do this on your own. So let's say, how do we find the value of the composite function on the graph? So first, f dot f of 2. This is f of 2. So first thing first, we will find what is f of 2. Well, f of 2 is equal to 1. F of 2 equal to 1. So then we looking at f of 1. Well, then f of 1 equal half. F of g of negative 2 equal f of g of negative 2. First thing we do is to find out what is g of negative 2. Well, g of negative 2 equal 4. So then f of 4. Well, f of 4 is equal 4 in this case. G of negative 1. So how do we evaluate using the table? Again, f of g of 1, that equal f of g of 1. So first, we need to find what is g of 1. Well, g of 1, so g of 1 is equal to 0. Then this will give us f of 0. Well, then f of 0 is equal to 5. F so-called g of 2. F of g of 2. G of 2 is equal to negative 3. So then f of negative 3. F of negative 3 equal 11. Similarly, g of f of 2 is equal to So let's say what happens if we have three functions composed together. F compose G compose H. So we do this slowly. This means we have f of g compose 8 of x. And so the first step is to find g compose 8 of x. And that is g of 8 of x. So 8 of x equals x squared. G of x equals square root of x. So square root of x squared, that equal to x. Second thing, we will substitute g of 8 of x into f of g of 8 of x. So that is f of x, which equal to x minus 1. So we can combine the function together. We can also break the number apart. So given capital F of x, we want to find f and g such that f equal to the composition of f and g. So note that here I can split the function into two things. F of x is equal to x to the fifth, and g of x is equal to x minus 9. Okay. I can do the same for the next one. F of x is equal to square root of x, and g of x is equal to 1 plus square root of x.